the right stock at the right time.
Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching our SpeakQ on Bloomberg Quint Live. I'm Navneet Saluja D'Souza.
Hi Navneet, and I'm Alex Matthew. Well, if you've got questions on equity, you should send them in to us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp. You can also call us on 022-4540-4141. Alternatively, you can mail us on askpq@bloombergquint.com. Just make sure to add the AskPQ hashtag.
Okay, before we get to the individual queries on the show today, let's tell you how the markets are faring. And clearly another day of fresh record highs seen for Nifty, Sensex as well as Bank Nifty. In fact, Sensex crossed the 38,000 mark for the first time in today's session. Bank Nifty is in focus after today being Thursday. You'll have the weekly options expiry, and the options data suggests that the expiry can take place between 28,000 to almost 28,300 on the upside. But let's just pull up the Nifty contributors and tell you which are the stocks which are contributing today. So had it not been for ICICI Bank, I believe the index would have been flattish in trade. And the other one is Infosys, State Bank of India and Axis Bank, all of them contributing in today's session. What's capping the moves on the upside? The heavyweight HDFC Bank, which has nearly 10% weightage, is trading in the negative territory. Well, as you can see, ICICI Bank, State Bank, Axis Bank, all these stocks have started to inch higher. And so far, the rally was being led by HDFC Bank. So some bit of profit booking coming in for the HDFC twins, and also something like Kotak Mahindra Bank. Let's also look at the broader markets, which have gone up alongside the benchmark indices in today's trading session. However, they still are in negative when you look at from January high. So Nifty Midcap Index is down, not down, but it's off today's high and still sitting with gains of nearly 0.2%. Small Cap Index, however, sitting with gains of nearly 48 points. Pull up the advanced decline ratio. That gives you a clear picture of the entire listed universe on National Stock Exchange. So that gap is actually bridging. So currently, as you can see, advanced decline ratio, I'd call it just 1:1. In terms of sectoral gainers, the PSU Banking Index is the top one there, and followed by the Private Banking Index. And Nifty Realty, led by gains seen in DLF, SOBA, and also something like HEG or high beta stocks are up and about today. Some of the other gainers, Kokoyu Camlin is up and about in today's trading session. Also something like TTK Healthcare, which will be coming out with its numbers. So ahead of that, that's up 16%. And Venky's just came out with the numbers an hour back. The profits for the quarter were up 37%, coming in at about 71 crore. On the losing side, once again, some result reaction. NMDC came out with the numbers in the July production sales numbers were also down. Revenues flat for the quarter, 7% lower for this one. Jet Airways will be coming out with its earnings today. Ahead of that, that's trading around its 52-week low levels. And UFO Movies has also seen some sharp corrections so far as we speak, Alex.
All right. Well, our two guests for the day are Ashish Kelkar of Kiran Jadhav and Associates, who will join us very shortly. And we also have Asta Jain of Hem Securities, who's with us currently. Thank you so much, Asta, as of now, for joining us. We've got an interesting question right off the bat. I see a lot of you have played fastest fingers first and gotten your queries up on social media. So I'm going to take Ayush's question, who is the first question today. He's asking what the kind of compounded annual growth rate he can look for with regard to HDFC AMC, which listed, as you all must be aware, at a 65% premium to the to the issue price. It's currently trading at 1,762, just about 1% lower in trade. Asta, what's the long-term view here? The question is, what kind of growth would one expect if they were holding this stock for the long term?
Good afternoon. First of all, as a disclosure, I want to mention that we have a coverage on this IPO and we have recommended for the long-term horizon also to our clients. So now if we talk about a CAGR, we are expecting this company to post the CAGR of 30 to 40%. The mutual fund industry is highly underpenetrated. Every month, this industry is receiving rupees 7,000 crore through SIPs, and SIPs are like the order book for the mutual fund industry or the mutual fund companies. So definitely this company is driving high on all the parameters. In fact, if we talk about other fundamentals, like India is also a highly underpenetrated market. If we talk about AUM to GDP ratio of the other developed developed nations, it is standing at around 50%, while in the case of India, it is only 13%. So there is a huge market for the India, and therefore we are expecting this company to continuously providing good set of numbers and growing at a CAGR of 30-40%. Long term, for the long term horizon, our target is 80-90% above issue price. Although on the day of listing, it has shown a price of around 1800, but if the investor can keep this stock in the portfolio, and we are expecting the returns of somewhere around 100% for a period of 1 year or a more, 100% above the issue price, that is 1900 to 2000 rupees. We are expecting for this company to generate as a return in the period of 1 year. So definitely a hold from our side.
Okay, that's a hold coming in from Asta on HDFC AMC, which had a stellar listing on trailing basis. Valuations definitely appear to be on higher side, almost 50 times. Some cool off, however, seen from the listing day, profit booking seen from the higher levels. Let's take our next query on from Facebook. Ram wants to know what can be the target for Kotak Bank August series. He's been holding the stock at 1326, and I guess we've got Ashish Kelkar who joins us to take us through the technicals as well. 1279 is the level, and he's bought at about 1326. Hi Ashish, good afternoon, and thanks a lot for joining us today. Tell us, what would your target be on Kotak Mahindra Bank, considering the other banks have now started to rally? Some bit of weakness has been seen for the HDFC twins and also for something like Kotak Bank. So till the end of the August series, what would you advise if somebody's been holding around the level of 1326?
Good afternoon. If we look at the chart of Kotak Mahindra Bank, it is showing definitely some weakness, but a very good support can be seen at around 1265 odd level. So till the time the stock is above 1265, a bullish momentum should resume is what the charts are suggesting as of now. So I would recommend to hold on to the stock with a strict stop loss of 1265. Now on the higher side, till the time the price does not goes above 1300, then this lackluster movement would be there in this particular counter. Once the stock crosses 1300, then there will be a fresh breakout, and in that case the next level can be 1340 is what the charts are suggesting.
All right, well, we've got another question, this time a longer term question, asking whether Ujjivan Financial, a fresh entry rather, makes sense. This one from Bharat Gangwani on Facebook. The stock is currently a little bit under pressure in trade today, at 373, down about 1.7%. Asta, what's the view on Ujjivan?
Basically, if we talk about Ujjivan Financial Services, there is some sort of degrowth which this company has posted in their financials, and that's why we are seeing some sort of pressure on this company. But if we're looking at the microfinance industry as a whole, and as we all know that credit excess gramming is also open with its issue, so microfinancial institution companies are looking very great at this point of time, especially those companies which are having the ticket size of a small, I should say small amount, and Ujjivan is standing somewhere like that only. Apart from that, the way the government is pushing, I mean, rural income and all the efforts before the elections, the government is having all the efforts in order to push the rural income and rural sentiment. So definitely these companies whose loan book is mainly from the rural areas, coming from the rural areas, will going to benefit. So my all advice is, for the long-term horizon only, if an investor want to keep the stock in the portfolio, then they can keep, but it should be for a longer period of a time, for a year or so, and we are expecting the returns of not more than 15 to 20% on the higher side.
Okay, that's Ujjivan Financial. Let's just pull up ICICI Bank stock price. Shivani Dhanuka has a query on that one. She's holding 2,700 shares of the 2,700 ICICI Bank shares at 300, and obviously she's sitting on good amount of money. She's almost in the money by 33 rupees, and the stock's been really active in today's session. She wants to know if she should be booking profits. Ashish, is there any fresh breakout that you're seeing on the charts? Do you expect higher levels in ICICI Bank, or somebody who's bought at 300 now is the right time to book profits?
Yes, ICICI Bank, the chart is very good. The charts are suggesting that the bullish momentum which is there would continue further. So the next target which we can see on the chart is around 355 to 360. So definitely a hold from my side for this particular counter. A strict stop loss has to be kept at 320 levels on a closing basis. This stop loss should be monitored on closing basis. The first target is 355. Now, if the price goes above 355 to 360, then that will be a fresh breakout. So further, more shares can be added above 360, and in that case, the next target would be around 385 to 390.
We missed that target. What is the second target, Ashish? I believe you said the first target's around 365, and then what was the second target that you were talking about?
390.
Okay. All right, those are the targets that you have to watch out for with regard to ICICI Bank. I'm going to club a couple of queries here. Shubham Garg and also we have Rishabh Tiwari, because they're both asking either or. So for Shubham, he's asking between BEL and L&T, which is the better long-term bet. And Rishabh Tiwari is asking between L&T Finance and LIC Housing, which is the better long-term bet. So Asa, not going into too much of the details, which of these two would you recommend?
Right now, Bharat Electronics Limited is looking a better choice because the kind of growth they have posted in the results, it's really a great set of numbers. So among between BEL and L&T, my choice is for Bharat Electronics Limited. And the second question is for the LIC Housing Finance and L&T Finance Holding. No doubt L&T Finance Holding, my choice is that because the L&T group is there, the parentage is strong, and they have posted a great set of numbers, a strong set of numbers. And this year we are expecting monsoons to be very good, so definitely the demand will be there, and we are bullish on the L&T Finance Holdings.
Up about 3.7% in trade today.
Okay, let's move on and take Abhishek Rai's query. He's bought 2,500 shares of Rallis India. Let's just pull up that one. His buying price is somewhere about 235 when he bought the shares, I guess, a year ago. For long term, and he wants to know, should he hold or sell this one? Asta, if I could come back to you, somebody's bought Rallis at 235. What would you suggest that person to do?
Basically, if we talk about Rallis, the person, if I want to suggest, hold this stock because this stock has posted 22% growth in their current Q1 FY19 quarter. So all in all, results are good. So definitely my advisors hold the stock, and we are expecting the return of somewhere around 10 to 15% above the current issue price.
All right, we've got a short-term query from Abhinav Jaiswal on YouTube. He's bought 2,500 shares of Yes Bank at a very good level, in fact, 330 for the short term. He's sitting on gains. The stock is currently at 379, down about 1% in trade today. Ashish, what are the levels that he should look at? Should he look at booking profit at this stage?
Definitely not, because the overall trend is
for the next 8 to 10 years, or both of them, he's saying equally, and every month he's looking to invest nearly 10,000 rupees for the stock.
In fact, there's one more. So if you want to add, there's also a comparison between RBL and Federal Bank. Okay. So we can add all three.
Let's take all these queries to Asta. Asta, if somebody wants to do SIP for the next 10 years, putting 10,000 every month in any of these stocks, which one would you suggest? The first option is RBL or Yes Bank, or the second option from the other viewer is Federal Bank better than both these banks?
Right now, I would like to suggest Yes Bank is the better choice because it's having a old history, because RBL it's a recent listing also. So moreover, I think Yes Bank is my first choice. After that, RBL is good. So among all these three, first choice will be Yes Bank and second will be RBL.
Okay, since Asta has not mentioned anything about Federal Bank, we've got a technical query also. Ashish, if I could come to you for this one of the viewer, he's currently holding Federal Bank around the level of 89.90, and he's holding around the level of 126, and obviously the shares are at 89. He wants to know, at these levels now, what is he supposed to do? Should he exit, or should he look to average now at these levels?
See, definitely average is not recommended at this level, but definitely I can suggest him a hold, because, and there is only one reason because why I am advising him to hold, because it is trying to breach the downtrend line which the stock has formed in the last 2.5 months. So this breakout will be around 92 or levels. If the price goes above 92, then definitely there will be a sharp rally in this counter. So that's the reason I am suggesting hold with a 6 stop loss of around 84.5. So if the stop loss is reached, then in that case, the stock would start going down further. The next level on the lower side would be at around 74, 75. So as of now, hold. If it goes above 92, a fresh pickup will be there. In that case, the first target would be 110.
Okay, watch out for the stop loss initially of 85 is the word coming in from Ashish on Federal Bank. Let's get in our caller now. We've got Harish Pale who's calling us from Hyderabad. Thanks so much, Harish. What's your question for our experts today?
Yeah. Very good afternoon. My question is regarding aviation sector, keeping the government focus on it these days. So it's actually I'm holding somewhere around 50 shares of SpiceJet at the rate of 115. Okay. Currently, it is trading at 88 or 89 something.
Okay.
So can we balance it, or is there any space for it to grow and get back on its growing path? And one other thing, what is the entry price to get into Indigo?
Indigo, okay. So yes. You want SpiceJet and Indigo. Let me just get that for you. Okay, we've got a viewer who's just want to check, Harish, do you want to hold us on to these stocks for the long term?
Yes, I'm looking for long term, and I just want to know the long term view of aviation sector.
Okay, fine. All right. Asta, what's the view here? We've seen a bit of pricing pressure enter this space, and also the pressure of higher aviation turbine fuel. So we've got a viewer who's holding on to SpiceJet at levels of 115. He's asking what to do. He's got a long term view on the stock, and also Indigo. Would you recommend a fresh entry?
For SpiceJet, I would like to mention the stock is already running its all-time low. So there is no use of getting out of the stock because the financial performance was not that bad that he should exit right now. In fact, we have seen some sort of a growth in their FY18 results altogether. And if we talk about the valuations also, SpiceJet is sitting at the valuation P multiple of around 9. So it is also very reasonable. So my advice would be hold on the SpiceJet stock, although we are not expecting a great return from this side, but although he is already having losses, so my idea would be hold on is the better strategy for the SpiceJet.
Okay. All right. Let me just quickly get a view from Ashish on an entry level for Indigo. On the charts, what levels are you seeing with regard to a fresh entry?
See, as of now, the stock is consistently making lower tops and lower bottoms. So I would recommend him to not to enter immediately. If the stock price goes above 1080, then in that case there will be a fresh breakout of ascending triangle pattern formation. So ROI will be more if investor buys above 1080 odd levels, and then in that case the first target would be at around 1160. So 1080 is a level to watch out for to enter into.
Okay, in the last 3 months, Interglobe Aviation could have seen cuts of 10 to 10.5%, but that's the chart which is telling you that it's bounced back from those 900 levels that it saw after the earnings came about. Okay, let's move on. We've got a query coming in from Rahul on YouTube. He wants to know what's the long-term view on the insurance sector, and if somebody wants to look at fresh investment, which stock to choose from this pack. Asta, comparatively a niche sector and a very new one where now we've got few companies which are listed. If you're bullish in this space, which stock would you choose?
Definitely long-term view on the insurance sector is quite bullish, and we are recommending HDFC Standard Life Insurance in that. HDFC being a brand name with a very strong parentage is looking quite attractive. Although when the IPO came, it was at the premium, but the premium were justified the kind of growth this industry has been witnessing, and previously we have talked about even AMCs also. So definitely as the Indian markets are highly under-penetrated, as we have discussed earlier also, so there is a lot of scope in the insurance sector as a whole. So my idea would be in the insurance sector, go for HDFC Standard Life Insurance.
All right, we've got a question coming in from Gaurav Garodia. Gaurav, by the way, we don't have any favorites, so we take them as they come. But your question is on GNFC. You say the plant will open soon, and kindly throw some light on it. You have 200 shares that you bought at 430, so approximately the same as the current market price. The stock is up about 1.6% in trade. Asta, what's the view on GNFC? We've got a viewer who's entered more or less at the current market price.
Sorry, I don't track GNFC, but chemical sector as a whole is looking good. So my idea would be if any stock is there in the chemical sector which has been consistently performing, so stay invested in that stock.
Let me quickly get a view from Ashish on GNFC since there's no clear cut analysis on it. What are the charts indicating for GNFC?
See, there was a deep crack in the particular counter from a level of 460 to a level of 400, and from there is a bounce back. So it is trying to make a trend reversal pattern above 440. There will be a big rally in this particular counter. So definitely hold from my side with a strict stop loss of 423.
Okay, that's GNFC for you. Ashish, if you could check a stock called Panasonic Carbon, if you track one of our viewer on Twitter named Ankit. He's holding 100 shares of Panasonic Carbon at a price of 500 rupees, and he wants to know a short-term view on the charts of this.
Currently, the stock is trading at around 525 level, so he's making around 5% return on investment. There is this is a pullback rally, which pullback rally of a downtrend. So yes, this pullback rally can take the prices to around 535, 545 levels. So the target will be 535 to 545. Hold with a strict stop loss of 517.
Okay, stop loss of 517. All right, we've got a query from Vinesh Kumar Soni on Facebook. He's picked some interesting stocks, and let's pull up the charts while I'm talking about them. M&M for one. We also have Jubilant Food, Ashok Leyland, and Pidilite. He's asking which of these stocks is a good bet for a 1 to 2 year period. Asta, the stocks are M&M, Jubilant Food, Ashok Leyland, and Pidilite. Does anything stand out for you?
As a disclosure, I want to mention we have a coverage on the M&M stock, and we are quite bullish in this space. The kind of results which this company has posted, I mean, the growth is more than 30% even in their Q1 FY19. And the way this company is expanding, the debts are quite low. And in fact, if the monsoon will turn out good, this is a great opportunity for this company. So altogether, my favorite pick is M&M, and our target for the M&M is 1100 for the time period of a year.
1100 is the target for the next 1 year on M&M right now. And let's just try and take some more queries coming our way. Shivam Agarwal wanted a view on Thomas Cook. He's also done some analysis. He's saying the stock's not been moving for the last 3 years despite having the lowest PE. So he wants some guidance on Thomas Cook. Asa, if you track this counter, Thomas Cook, which has not moved at all, I've not checked the PE, but Shivam suggests that it has the lowest PE in this sector. What would you suggest?
Yeah, the PE is lowest, but the growth is not there. In fact, in their Q1 FY19 results also, they have shown the degrowth. So if a stock is not giving any kind of growth, definitely we see a sharp downfall in that stock, and that's why the reason valuations became attractive. But my suggestion is, until unless there is no growth in the stock, please don't enter into the stock. And if a investor is having the stock, then he should hold it, but should not expect a great set of returns from this sort of company which are not posting any sort of growth. So my idea would be hold for because Thomas Cook has already fallen so much. So hold this stock, but please don't expect huge returns until unless the company don't post any growth in their Q2 FY19 results. So it's a wait till that time.
Okay, we've got a query from, I think this is Shubham, Krish. All right. Anyway, so he's asking for a 6-month view on Kokuyu Camlin. He's asking what price he should enter. The stock, if you can pull up the 1-month chart, has done really well. From levels, I think, of around 90, it's gone all the way up to 123. So the 1-month chart will tell you how much. In fact, in trade today as well, it's about 14% higher. What are the technicals indicating, Ashish? Are there more legs to this rally?
See, the stock is poised at a very strong resistance now, and the strong resistance can be seen at around 127. From there, today also the stock has came down. So till the time the price is below 127, I would suggest not to enter into this particular counter, because above 127 there will be a fresh break, and then in that case the first target would be at around 140.
Sorry, can you repeat that, Ashish? We didn't catch the target, the fresh target after it breaches 127?
142 to 145.
Okay.
Okay, that's Kokuyu Camlin, which is up and about in today's trading session. The last 1 month, the stock surged nearly 35% in trade. Dibarpan Sarkar wants to know if this is the right time to enter into stocks like Kaveri Seeds or Motherson Sumi. Asta, do you like any of these stocks for a fresh investment, Motherson Sumi or Kaveri Seeds?
Basically, for the fresh investment, my idea would be not for the Kaveri seed at least. And in fact, we are recommending Excel Industries. In your previous shows also, we have recommended about the Excel Industries, and you just see the kind of return this company has already given. We have recommended it at somewhere around 1300 level. Right now, it is quoting at around 1700 level, and today we are expecting great set of numbers because results will be declared today for this company. So rather than Kaveri seed, my idea would be Excel Industries. Go with that. This stock will definitely give 10 to 20% return in the short to medium term from the current market price.
All right, we've got a question from Dibanshu Bhatia. He's asking for a 30-day trading position. He's taken on 3 stocks, all in the automotive space. Eicher Motors, he bought 20 shares at 27,000 rupees. He's bought a Maruti 9,120, and he's got Bajaj Auto at 2,700. He's asking what levels he should look at. So Ashish, the 3 stocks that I mentioned, starting with Eicher Motors, that was bought at 27,000, then Maruti at 9,120, and Bajaj Auto at 2,700.
Eicher Motor definitely hold from my side, though there is a weakness which can be seen in today's trading session, but I am expecting a further pullback rally in this particular counter, which can take the prices to around at 28,300 odd levels. This is for about Eicher Motor. The second stock he was talking about was
Maruti
Bajaj Auto.
Or Bajaj Auto, whichever. Yeah.
Okay. If we look at Maruti chart has it has corrected a lot from a level of around 9,900 to a level of 9,100. But now 9,150 is very strong support for this particular counter. So here definitely a hold from my side with a strict stop loss of 9,070. If the price goes below 9,070, then the next target would be 8,800. So a strict stop loss of 9,075 is important for this particular counter. And the third is Bajaj Auto. If you look at Bajaj Auto stock, this stock has already it was making a higher top and higher bottom, but now in the last trading sessions, 7 to 8 trading sessions, it has cracked like anything from a level of around 3,100 to a level of 2,600. So definitely exit from this portfolio.
Okay, that's the advice coming in. Exit from Bajaj Auto if you're holding a position. I think our viewer was holding around the level of 2,700. Well, we're running out of time. I want to thank all our viewers who tuned in today and have written their queries to us. You can tune in tomorrow as well and send us your queries. Thank you very much, Astha as well as Ashish, for joining us on the show and helping our viewers with their queries. Well, that's all that we have on this edition of Ask BQ.
And there were several interesting queries that were discussed on the show. So even if it wasn't individual, your query, you can still find them useful. So you can log on to the website bloombergquint.com and search for the hashtag AskBQ and get all the queries that were discussed today. Up next on Bloomberg Quint is Power Lunch, so do stay tuned.